Hello and good night, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time you are viewing this podcast. Let me say good day to you and welcome to Pastor Oneil Review Zone. This is the podcast where we look at all things dealing with relationships, dealing with movies, dealing with music, and also dealing with clips and around from the internet. We recently just added another section where we will answer a few things from Cora as well. So yeah, today we have some things that we're going to get into. All right, so let's get started.
Welcome to Pastor O'Neill's Review Zone podcast. We are glad that you decided to join us today. This podcast focuses on reviewing topics like movies, music videos, audio clips, and even relationships, so sit back and enjoy the show. Welcome to Pastor O'Neill's Review Zone.
Okay, great. So today we have a nice neat little topic. Why dating modern women is hard. Why dating modern women is hard. And before folks start to come at me thinking, well, I am a misogynist, I know that's the new word these days, this guy hates women, he don't like women at all. Isn't anything more positive? Let me let you know, I've been married for 19 years. All right. Also a marriage coach. Right. I marry people. We do marriage counseling. I have counseled numerous amounts of couples. All right, that are still together up to this present day. All right. So that is not just to pat myself on the back. It's not just to pat myself on the back, but it means that the information that we give and the information that we dispatch to people is of great importance. And I want you to know as well as that marriage and dating to get married is a very serious thing. This is one of those things that affects your entire life. It affects your entire life. There are many people that never recover from a bad breakup. There are people that suffer severe mental issues. Some people have completely tripped mentally, or because of relationships. So we take this very seriously. We take this very seriously, and of course we use the word of God to back it up. All right. Now today we're going to look at why dating modern women is hard. Why dating modern women is hard, and I want to take the first shot at men, especially fathers. Now, I understand the dynamic that today in today's culture, you have many kids that are growing up without a father figure in the home. And I am not here to blame either party because things happen. All right. Things happen. But the fact is, you have a kid in the midst. And sometimes we can put aside all of our differences. We can put aside what we feel towards each other. We can put aside, the hurtful things that I have done or you have done in order to safeguard these kids. I'm not saying that you have to live together in the same household, but at least you can have an equal input into the upbringing of this child. And so children today need the input of both mothers and fathers, and especially fathers, because statistics will show you that most of the single mother households today have children growing up with mental issues, stability issues, discipline issues, and all of that. All right. And it is simply because the input of the man is missing. Now, everybody will find some way of finding somebody somewhere to say, well, look, this single mother grew up four boy children on her own, and they are not disrespectful. They are very, and let me tell you, that is a nuance. It is a nuance. And if you are a single mother growing up boys and girls, and they are very respectful and they have no issues. Well, bless God, thank God for that. It also means that they have a healthy dose of male figures, either from football, either from cadets, either from church, if you are in church, or from the uncles and so on, brothers that are around, that can help to instill that male domination into their lives. But folks, that is a nuance. It is not the rule. It is the exception, and we cannot try to shift the goalposts and make the exception the rule. It doesn't work like that. All right, it doesn't work like that. It come like telling everybody, well, if you buy a lottery ticket, you are guaranteed to win the lottery. You're not guaranteed to win the lottery. Somebody has to win, but that is not a guarantee. And so we must stop trying to make the exception the rule. All right, God's ultimate plan is to have both male and female. That's why he created both of them. That's why he wants both of them to have equal input into the upbringing of the family. That's why, as I was saying in another podcast that I did, that God in the very earlies, if you examine the Pentateuch, and a lot of people will try to poke holes at God's standard. You cannot, with your little itty bitty self. We always changing what we know about the universe. In other words, we don't know, but God knows all. He's omniscient, and we who striving to know something cannot always try to, with our little understanding, try to put it and say, well, this is how it is, and God, you're supposed to know better. No, the Bible declares to us that his ways are higher than our ways, and his thoughts are higher than our thoughts. All right. So, yeah, my first shot is at the men, because guys, you have a responsibility to grow up your daughters in the way that they should go, so that when they get old they will not depart from it. You ought to lay down, what a woman is. Yeah. And her very first idea of God, her very first idea of a husband is supposed to come from the man, so we can understand clearly, if you are growing up in a single mother household, why some women grew up with this false ideology of what a man is and who he's supposed to be. And some women even go further to try to tell a man who he's supposed to be. You, as a woman, have no idea what it takes to be a man. And I will say that again. You women have absolutely no idea what it takes to be a man. Why? Because you're not a man. You're not a man. Your biological construct, your mental construct, and your social construct, right, gives you a skewed idea of what a man is. You can only imagine, but you really, really don't know what it is to be a man. All right. So let's take a look at this clip, and we are going to jump in further, as the case might be. Let's take a look at this clip.
And who can't even pay your bill to be playing in your face. Next caller. If you want.
All right. So, first of all, apparently this young lady, seemingly, I don't know if it's a spoof. I don't know if it is, a little bit of sarcasm in here. It was very, very funny, but there are some women that will take this as law. All right. First of all, if you are dating somebody, men, let me talk to you guys. If you are dating a young lady, we're talking about dating. We're not talking about marriage here. This is dating. Do not set the precedent of paying any bills for her. I know you want to impress her. I know you want to show her that you are interested. I know you want to make a good impression on this young lady, to let her know that you are well capable of taking care of her. All right. But do not, I repeat, do not set the precedence of paying any bills for her. What that does, by you just dating, paying bills for this young lady, it sets the precedence, all right, that she doesn't have anything to do. She has no role to play. And in fact, it is your responsibility as the man to take care of her and all of that. Now remember, I said this is dating. Dating is much different than being married. If you're dating, you're not married. If you're dating, you're single. If you're dating, you're single. And we must understand that you are not a wife, you are not a husband, you are not obligated to pay anybody's bills. As a matter of fact, that young lady should be taking pride in the fact that she can stand on her own and be able to pay her bills. It's called being an adult. What we are doing here, we are setting the precedence that women don't need to be adults. And with this whole feminism movement, what we are actually doing is saying that as long as you are a woman, as long as you are a female, the men out there are just supposed to be throwing money at you. Just throwing money at you. All right. And again, I call that the spirit of harlotry. For those who don't know what that is the spirit of prostitution. All right. Because all you are doing is taking money from the guy, right? So that he can it's basically he's supposed to worship you, basically. He's just supposed to worship you. Why? Because you are a female. There are a whole lot of cults that have grown up around this, and it has come through the ages. And we need to stop this nonsense. All right? We need to stop this now, and we need to stop it now. All right? So in dating, it is getting to know an individual. It is getting to know how that individual thinks. It is getting to know how they respond to issues. It is getting to know how they respond to obligations. If a woman is renting, she has a job, she's renting, she has a car, you get to know each other, and you is now the boyfriend, and she, how was she paying, how was she surviving without you? How was she surviving without you? How was she paying her rent without you? How was she paying her car note without you? How was she uh, fixing that car without you? All right. So we must. I'm not saying do not help somebody if they need a little assistance. It's all up to you. But the precedents we want to set in terms of paying bills for girlfriends and that kind of thing, I do not support that, and I will encourage all men, do not put yourself into that, because if something happens, right, and you break up, you have lost that investment. Do not invest, and you might make it, but why you're making it sound like is a transactional thing? All right. So the woman is not transactional. Women right now seek, they are the ones who are in control of relationships. If they see you and they are interested in you, right, they will give you a chance. But the first thing that they are looking at is if you are capable of supporting them. All right. If you are capable of supporting them, and you being, and so they're checking out where you're working, they are checking out your job, they are actually calculating what you doing with your money. You, on the other hand, can ask them that. As a matter of fact, women will find that a big turn off. All right. They will find that a big turn off. They'll find that you are low down. They find that something is wrong with you as a man. But they are doing this thing to you to get you to pay the bills and that kind of thing. And she is saying here, right? This young lady is saying that if you're not paying the bills, next caller. So it all goes to show where their priorities are. I heard a psychologist say that if you are only concerned about money, then you do not, then in the relationship, you're not concerned about having a relationship. You're not having a true relation as a male to a female. It is only transactional. So women don't want to be called out on transactions, but they want the men now to not say anything about transactions. Listen to me, fellas, wise up. And ladies who are doing this, stop prostituting yourselves. Because once that man takes money out of his pockets to give to you, he is going to want what is called an ROI, or a return on his investment. And are you, young ladies, willing to give the return on the investment? Let's continue the clip.
Want the men with the money who pay the bills. You need to look like money. You need to be money. You need to transform yourself into the best version of yourself to attract a man with money. Because when
All right. So you see what she's saying there? She wants to attract a man with money. So they are going to spend, they're going to try to look the part, they're going to try even if they're broke, and penny wise here in Trinidad and Tobago, I don't know the different places in and around the world where you are, but in Trinidad there's a store called Pennywise, and Pennywise makes millions of dollars daily. All the branches, if they make less than $1 million a day, I will be totally shocked. I am telling you, I mean, oblivious. That's totally shocked, because every single Pennywise branch in Trinidad and Tobago has a high foot traffic every single hour of the day. From the time they open to the time they close, women are buying cosmetics, women are buying perfumes, women are buying every single thing to keep the skincare routine, hair routine, you name it. Pennywise have it, right? And people might say, well, Pastor, what kind of advice are you giving there? That so women can't make themselves look good? I am not saying no, and I did not say that. So I see I call it my own self. I am not saying no, and I did not say that. But I am saying, in reaction to this video, where the young lady says that you have to make yourself in a way to attract a man with money. So basically, the honest reason that you are attracted to a man is because of his money. So where has love gone? Nobody don't talk about love anymore. Is there such a thing as love? Tina Turner sang the song, "What's Love Got to Do with It?" Do we have genuine, real love again? My friends, I know that this broadcast is going to go out to a lot of people, but there's a standard when it comes to what love is. And it's found in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter number 13. And love is not given money. And I wish ladies will understand that. I know today's feminism type movement tries to slide a lot of things in and make you feel that if a man loves you, he's going to spend money on you. That might be an element on it, but there is so much more that goes into love, more than the pocketbook. Because a man who does not have money, or a lot of money, could love you much more. A man with plenty money has options. I heard Kevin Samuel says that the high value men don't cheat, they exercise options. Potato, however you want to call it. All right. And once a man has a lot of money, girlfriend, be certain that you are not the only person who is going after him, especially if he is single, especially if he has a number of companies, he's a high value man. A lot of women may be throwing themselves at him. All right. So he has all of the high value women, which is those women that are sexually appealing, aesthetically good looking, they have themselves well put together. They don't need to have money. if you're well put together and you are a cashier in Subway, trust me, if he goes into Subway to buy to buy a sandwich and he sees you and he finds you appealing to him, he is going to make that move. And trust me, it's going to be all over at that point. All right. So the advice that she is giving here to young women, it is of a quote unquote prostitution type of spirit that is going around there. And so we need to not take this advice. You don't have to listen to me, but I am telling you, I am telling you, when the money runs out, you're going to be looking for the next thing. And a lot of people, if you check out the Dubai scene, all right, if you check out what's happening in Dubai these days, my friends, the Dubai scene is crazy, where the women are actually in control. The millionaires are trying their best to hold some of them down. And if they hold one down, these women, while they're spending the man money, they're spending the man money on their outside boyfriends as well. Yeah, it's a real thing. All right. So let's try to know what love is and try getting back to love. Because love, money will pass, all kind of things will pass, but love will never pass away. Read 1 Corinthians chapter number 13. Tell me what you think about it. Let's continue the clip.
You become the money. He's doing the most to keep you, not you doing the most to keep him. Enroll in high value women.
Right. So basically, she puts it all on the man. He is doing the most to keep you. You're not doing anything to keep him. Why? Because the minute he slip, you are off to the next candidate. Again, so basically it has nothing to do with love. It has all to do with what he is able to supply you. So basically you dress yourself up really, really nice as arm candy in order to get this man. So you see why I call it the spirit of prostitution. You see why I call this thing in the world today, they have a terminology 304. You see why this is 304 behavior? Fellas, if a woman has this type of mentality, this is not the person to get married to. The old meme, she belongs to the streets, definitely. Right? This is not the woman you want to get married to. Let her go walk on by. I don't care how much sexually appealing she is. Trust me, you're going to find somebody who cares for you, who loves you, who wants to work together with you and build something that both of you all can enjoy. All right? And this mentality here ain't it. So women, if you are in this type of mentality here, try and understand what I'm saying. Do not reduce to yourself to that of a 304, but instead elevate yourself. Because according to Proverbs 31, a woman who fears the Lord, her price is far above rubies. And if you check out that woman who fears the Lord, she doesn't depend upon the man for anything. She works with her own hands. All right? So if you want to be independent, be independent. But don't expect a traditional man, but you are not being a traditional woman. It doesn't work like that.
One-on-one. It will change your perspective and heal your feminine energy.
All right. So let's go back. It will change your perspective and heal your feminine energy. Let's go back and listen to that again.
Change your perspective and heal your keep you, not you doing the most to keep him. Enroll in high value women one-on-one. It will change your perspective.
Enroll in high value woman 101. It will change your perspective and what?
And heal your feminine energy.
And heal
Why would
your
you allow a man who can
heal your feminine energy? So the only how you as a woman can be feminine is when a man spends money on you. So you are not a woman outside of that. Try to understand it. Hey, this modern world crazy. I thank God that when I got married, I didn't have all of this craziness here to deal with. because to be honest, I prefer to stay a single guy. Right? I am so sorry for all of the young men and young ladies out here that are going around and we feel that this is the way that life is supposed to be lived when it is not. People who disregard and discount the Bible is like a person who buys let me see something here. All right, so I have a camera. Okay, yeah, nice big expensive camera. I have a camera here, and with all these gadgets and so on that this camera has, all the buttons and so on, you definitely need an owner's manual in order to operate this. If you have something as sophisticated as this and take the owner's manual and throw it away and now trying to figure out how everything works, and then some things might work by you fiddling around, but you're really not getting the full understanding how everything works. Why? Because you throw away the owner's manual. And that is what is happening in the world today. We have people who discount the word of God and they throw it away. And then they are going about their lives just like the person who threw away the owner's manual trying to operate the camera. And they go about their lives and they find that things are not going well at all. Things are not going well at all because you have thrown away the owner's manual. It is time that we get back to the word of God and let God direct our lives again. He created us, we didn't create ourselves. So if we get back to him, then he is going to be able to direct our steps once we acknowledge him in all of our ways. All right? So with that said, let's look at our next clip.
Up at 2 a.m. He said, baby, can you cook me a meal? Would you cook your man a meal if he woke you up at 2 a.m.?
No. Just being honest.
What about you, Kiki?
It all depends on how I'm feeling.
All right, it depends.
Oh, you another depends.
It depends on the situation.
Here's another question. If an intruder broke inside the house, would you or would you not expect your man to go downstairs and handle that break at the door? Natasha.
Absolutely.
All right. So basically, what is happening here is that there's a social experiment that is being conducted on this podcast here, right? And the guy is asking, if your husband asks you to make him a sandwich at 2 o'clock in the morning, all of the women responded by saying it's according to how they feel. But on the flip side, if an intruder breaks into the house, the man is expected to go out there and protect his family, protect his woman, protect his family. So what we are seeing here, brothers, please note, is that women do things based on how they feel, but a man is still expected to carry out his traditional role. So the man must always be traditional, but the woman must not be traditional. The man is always required to provide, to protect, to lead, to have knowledge, to direct, to discipline. But today's modern women are not doing any of the sort. Right? So what we have is a dating dynamic in today's world that is skewed in favor of women. Men are just basically a byproduct. If you watch any show as it pertains to wedding, whether it is Say Yes to the Dress, Bridezilla, all the different wedding shows, you would not, if they have a segment with the guy, the segment with the guy will make up 5%, 2%. I was being generous. The segment with the guy makes up 2%. The majority of it is just based on the woman. You will see the woman will bring her whole family, they will try on a million dresses, and up to now she didn't like the dress. None of them like the dress. It's all about the woman. She's frustrated. She can't sleep because she can't get the dress right. When she go to fix the cake, She find the cake tasting too grainy. They have a cake tasting. They went by the florist. It's all about the woman. But what do the women bring to the table? Good looks, sex, what else? Not money, right? And even if they have money, they are expecting the guy to have more money than them so that he can take them to trips, take them around the world, and do all these types of things. All right, he can do all these types of things. So what are the women bringing to the table? You want to know something? When God created Adam and Eve and he placed both of them in the garden, right? Placed both of them in the garden. Do you know that woman was not only supposed to help Adam in the garden, but they are supposed to be learning each other. That is what becoming one is about. Social skills. Being able to understand each other to see how best you can help each other. But in today's dating world, you don't see that. No woman is coming into a man's life to assist him. As a matter of fact, what you see happening today is women want a man to come onto their program. How is a man supposed to lead you and be a visionary and supposed to be a leader and a director if you is the one who leading? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. How is he supposed to be a leader to you? And you want him to come into your program? Let me tell you what God's mandate is. The Bible tells us that God created the woman for the man. As much as you might not like it, the woman is not the first in God's creation. He created the man first because he wants him to be a leader. And he gave the man his commands firstly because the plan is that the man gets his information from God and then he gives that information to his wife, and both of them together give the information to their children. That is God's plan. The man receives his direction, he receives his plans and his purpose from God. And so if a woman wants to get with a man, she first has to have the mentality, am I going to be an adequate support to this man? Woman, you will be at your best. You will find your purpose. You will find your reason for living when you have the mindset of complementing that man's mission. So if you are getting with a man and you cannot support that man's mission, do not bother to get into his life. Don't bother. Yeah. Let's continue the clip.
Allie,
Yes.
Kiki.
All I'm saying is if you don't, it's over after that.
Yeah, I would expect that.
What I've heard was that a woman's wifey duty is based off her feelings, right? It depends on how I feel. But the man's duty of protecting you, it's mandatory. How is it a fair deal?
These are so different. Like
Yeah,
one is like
they're
you're even
not-
the same. The one
they're
is
not.
like you're both about to die, maybe.
Right, and if you don't
And the
do
other
it, you're
one
gonna
is
die.
So you see immediately, this is what women do. They get caught, you see, and getting caught now, because when you bring up the issues in terms of roles, they didn't understand that this was the dynamic in terms of roles. They try now to shift the goalposts. So getting up and making a sandwich, he's not going to die if I don't make him a sandwich. But they just totally miss the whole idea. The whole idea of this social experiment here is to show you that women want men to be traditional, while they themselves being a traditional woman is optional. You have a lot of women these days will tell you they're not cooking, they don't cook, they're not cleaning, they're not doing nothing of the sort. As a matter of fact, the reason why they want a high value man is so that they will hire a cook, they will hire a cleaner, they will hire a babysitter while they go and do yoga with their friends, while they go to the gym, with the yoga pants and all that kind of thing, right? That is the kind of lifestyle that is being purported and churned out by Hollywood. And a lot of women are going towards that, getting the nice Gucci bag and getting, all the expensive name brands, wearing all the gold and silver and diamonds and driving the best car and all of that. It is a pie in the sky. And to be honest, only a small percentage of people get to really live that life. You breaking your neck and breaking a man's neck so that you can live that life, it doesn't make sense to me, because you're making both of you all miserable simply because you are out of the will of God. God expects both individuals to work together. A good example is in the book of Ruth. If you check out the book of Ruth, you will recognize that while Boaz owned the field of wheat, the women were working. And a lot of them were single women. But Ruth especially, she recognized, hey, I have to push because I want this man to be interested in me. And this woman was working. She wasn't dependent on the man to do anything for her. This woman was working. So God's plan is both individuals work together and build together. But in today's narrative, what you find is that you don't have women again who wants to work together with a man. In fact, they want to stay at the end of the finish line, wait on a man to be accomplished, and then they say, okay, I choose you. It's like Pokemon, right? I choose you. Why? Because you have everything put together, but you didn't help that man accumulate his wealth. You didn't help that man accumulate his wealth. A lot of people ain't go like me on this, A lot of people wouldn't like this because we have a tradition of prostitution that is going about as normalizing prostitution, and we're not seeing it.
So it's not about the situation. It's about what the man is attracted to, and it's about what the woman is attracted to. The man is attracted to femininity, submissiveness. The woman is attracted to masculinity, protecting and providing. So if you're not giving what we are naturally attracted to, it's not a fair deal if we have to always give you what you're naturally attracted to. That's going to protect you. Make sense?
All right. So the man, and it goes back to what I was saying before. With women now, being traditional is optional to them. And I know in today's modern world, because of how society is, all right, most men are unable, my brothers and my sisters, most men are unable to just be a sole provider for you so that you can sit down and do nothing. And as a matter of fact, modern women, they find it a curse word if you tell them to be a traditional housewife. So on top of not doing anything, they are not going to be cooking for you or neither cleaning for you, neither doing nothing. So partner, you have a modern woman today, you go out and work hard and you come back home, she wants you to bring home something for she, You have to bring home something for her to eat because she's not cooking at all. You have to come home and wash your own clothes because she's not into that traditional thing. So why get married anyway? If as a man, if I had to go and buy my own food and come home and wash and cook my own, wash and cook and do my own thing. It's better I stay single. I don't know what you guys think, but I makes sense to me. Why bring in somebody and then they pull in from your resources too? What is the contribution? What is the contribution? Right? Read Proverbs 31, you will see that that woman, and if you feel that that is a misogynistic thing, please understand that Proverbs 31 was not written by a man. The Bible tells us it is the prophecy of King Lemuel, what his mother taught him. His mother. So he was writing out what his mother taught him. Gone are the days when older women used to teach the younger women what it is to be a woman. Today you'll find that single mothers are competing with their own daughters because both of them want the same high value man to take care of them. I was watching not Sherry Shepherd, one of these country stars. I forgot her name. I was watching her show, and it showed a woman in her 40s. She was looking like her daughter's twin sister. And I mean, genetics and all that, not everybody has that sort of fortunate thing. But the thing is, two of them look exactly the same. You know, they say that you make yourself. Two of them look exactly the same. And the thing is, both of them, I don't know if if the mother was single or not, but both of them are actually competing for the same individual. And that's the dynamic that we have today. So the older women are not teaching the younger women anything. Because if you teach these younger women the truth, they are going to be your direct competition. So it's a dog eat dog world out there for women, and I empathize with you all. But as a counselor and as a relationship coach, or whatever you want to call it, today I want us to wake up to the reality that what the world is showing us today is putting us into a lot of problems, and that's why we have a lot of issues. Listening to the guy that's not with the ladies, that's why a lot of relationships are breaking up. A lot of marriages are dissolving. It's crazy outside of there. Because you don't want to follow God's plan. You want to do your own thing. You want to follow God's plan when it suits you, but you don't want to follow the whole part of it. So you're just extracting and excerpting what you want that suits you, and then the rest you decide to follow the world, and then you expect your relationship to go good. It will not work. So that is why dating modern women today is hard. Because as a man, you are going to be broke. You're basically going to be working to support that woman because she's not doing anything. Right? She's not helping your peace. She's not helping build the family finances. She's not doing anything. She's just sitting down there being cute. And then these women have the audacity to wonder why the man leave you for a more submissive, a more younger version of you, somebody who is willing to do what you not doing as a wife. And you not willing to do you don't even have the mindset. You're a girlfriend, but you want to get married, but you're stuck in girlfriend zone. You're not thinking about the next step. You're not thinking about functioning on the next step. You're not doing any of that. I'm not saying sleeping and washing and cooking for the man and then, no. I'm not talking about that yet, but I'm talking about the mentality of a wife. You don't have that. You're not willing to work to build anything. And that's the problem that I have with today's modern women. And you know what's worse? This mentality is creeping into the church. Women talking about you use a wife you in your home and you find it hard to give to the man, and men don't ask so much. You find it hard to give the man anything, but you want the world, and if he doesn't do it, he is the worst thing. It's sad. Dating modern women is hard. But if we are willing to change our mindset and change from the things of this world to the things of God, I guarantee you, you're going to be in a better place. All right. So that's it today for Pastor Oneil's review zone. All right. I trust that you would have been able to learn a little bit from the podcast and see the outrageous mentality that is in some of this world's modern women. The reason why the dating scene today with women is so very, very difficult. All right. So have fun, guys. All right. And until we meet again, this is Pastor Desmond Oneil, Senior Pastor of Word International Family Fellowship, saying until we meet again for our next podcast, have a good one. God bless you. Stay strong. Let God guide you, and He will direct your path. All right? Submit yourself to the Lord. God bless you.